This year I wanted to make my own Christmas decorations. I've been on a real roll using my scroll saw, jigsaw, and bandsaw for different projects, so I saw this as a perfect opportunity to do something really simple for our neighborhood to enjoy. The goal: elegant, classy, and timeless outdoor Christmas decorations for less than 75 bucks. I was off on a Google search for some inspiration. There are a lot of cool displays out there, but I really like this crate and barrel one. I think it's classy in a minimalist way, and I can easily scale it up to be large enough for an outdoor decoration. To get started, I made a template on a program called Inkscape, which I've been learning recently to help me with projects. It's open source, free, and easy to use, and I'd recommend it if you want to create a vector image. This template was easy to transfer onto pieces of wood using painter's tape and Super 77 adhesive. The wood I ended up using was cedar dog ear fence posts. I decided to use these because they're relatively inexpensive and they're rot resistant, which is great for outdoor projects. It's also worth noting that the scale up of this project was limited by the size, mostly the width, of these fence posts. It really helps to understand these little details about your projects, as it could help save money. I'll be putting together a cost summary at the end, so be sure to check that out if you're interested. I basically rinsed and repeated the process of jigsawing these out until I had a big batch of mustaches. Yes, I'm talking about the branches, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. The second detail to figure out was how to mount the branches to the middle trunk. Unfortunately, the fence posts weren't thick enough to put a rod through them, like the crate and barrel one. Instead, I decided to use conduit routing straps. This is actually a cool solution because it allows me to take the entire assembly apart for storage pretty easily. It also allows me to orient the mustaches whichever way I want after assembly. I made a star for the top and adhered it to the post with a dowel. Woo! Here it is! Almost there! The most complex part of this was the clamp here. To make this, we basically made a stencil of the rod in a corner of a piece of cardstock and used that to miter the edges and scroll saw out a hole for the rod to go through. Here's an epic time lapse of us putting on the lights. I guess while you're watching this, I'll add a few things up. The cedar fence posts for the branches cost $3.97 at my local Home Depot, and I used 4, so $15.88 total for the branches. I used a 1-inch diameter, 6-foot long poplar dowel for the main rod, but in future projects I think I'll use a more rot-resistant material or maybe make my own out of cedar since poplar isn't the best choice for outdoors. The 3/4-inch conduit clamps cost $6.28 for a bag of 20. Technically I only needed 11. Lastly, the base was made out of scrap, but if I were to estimate, it's another few bucks, so let's just say $4 more. I used my Christmas lights from last year, so those technically didn't cost anything for me, but similar ones are selling for $27.59 at Target right now. So this brings the total to $60.63, including lights. Not bad for a quick little project. Well, here's a grand reveal. What do you all think? Let me know in the comments below.